Hey awesome friends, I am Awesome Danny and welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to talk to you about the QKZ X HBB Hades, a 2 dynamic driver IM with an emphasis on bass. So first of all, let me thank Linsoul for sending this out for review. I appreciate it, Linsoul. Thank you for making the video possible, but they did not ask that I say anything in particular, just to give it a fair and honest review. And that's what I try to do here. Just share my honest experience with anything that comes in. Let's get right into it. Or actually, maybe let me tell you a little bit about the experience while waiting for this. So I actually grew up with a lot of rap and hip hop, like basically since middle school up until like 4 years ago. I exclusively listened to rap and hip hop. I didn't even listen to anything with female vocals. That was something more recent. That's probably why I'm so into K-pop now. It's refreshing. It was a change. I felt like hip hop and rap wasn't doing it for me anymore. But I did grow up with it. It's solid, what, more than a decade? Man, I'm old. So when Linsoul reached out and offered the Hades, I'm like, this is a perfect opportunity to go back, you know, indulge in some nostalgia and listen to some my old stuff. So while I did go through my usual testing process where I try multiple genres, I spend most of my time in my old playlists with all the stuff I grew up with. You know, we had Kendrick Lamar, Lil Wayne, 50 Cent, Eminem, 3 6 Mafia, who else? Yin Yang Twins, and then all the popular viral stuff that from back then, before we had, you know, viral videos or whatever. So in that regard, it was fun. It was actually a very fun experience to go through that again. It was just one heck of a nostalgic trip. So thank you for that, QKZ and HBB. So going into the product itself, unboxing is very nice. The box is maybe a little bit too big, but it's nice. I like the presentation. It's unique. I enjoy the color scheme, the theme. The shells of the Hades are very pretty. It feels well built. The cable, I hate it. That thing tangles so much. I keep everything stock whenever I do any testing, but I replace that very quickly. Cable just was very light and thin, which was nice. It was like a cheaper feeling version of the Truth Ear Zero cable, and it was a little bit lighter, but it tangled almost just as much, or maybe even more, but it tangles. I hated it. The ear tips that came with the Hades were nice. They're better than most ear tips at this price point, so I used those. They were good. They provided a comfortable fit with a good seal, which is the most important part. You want to get a good seal. Can't let any of this bass leak out. There's a lot of it and it's trying to get out. You have to keep it all in there. It also came with a little carrying case, which is not my favorite. It's sturdy. It feels like it could protect the IMs if you throw it in a bag or something, but the issue is it's probably going to protect them once. It's very light, a little bit rigid, and feels like as soon as it cracks, it's just going to shatter. It just felt really cheap. This guy right here. Almost like something you like get with candy in it or something. But I mean, this is the first time I probably would have preferred a pouch, like a nice little pouch, but you get a case. It does its job, and it's really small, pocketable. We need a new word for able to be in your pocket stuff. And then the second coolest thing behind the faceplate of the Hades, the coin. You get a little, I don't know, QKZ HBB commemorative, I can't talk today, commemorative coin. I still don't know what they're for. HBB, if you're watching this, please leave a comment. What is the coin for? What can I use it for? Is it some kind of currency? Or if any of you guys know, let me know in the comments. So what do you think the coins from HBB's collabs are for? All right, so that's pretty much it. Nice box, nice unboxing, subpar accessories, good build on the IEM, and very pretty faceplate. I really like the faceplate on this. All right, so let's go ahead and get into the sound impressions. But first, real quick, just to touch on gaming, because I try to test everything. So just do not purchase this IEM with an intention on gaming. It did okay, but it is, you know, a lot of bass. It clouds up a lot of the other audio cues during gaming. It just did not do that good of a job. And it was even difficult to hear teammates in voice chat. So in my experience, not a good set for gaming. Any type of gaming, immersive or competitive. Do not look at this for gaming. All right, so getting into the sound impressions. So overall, the Hades is very bassy. It's also very muddy and very dark. So lots of bass, lots of bass. I don't think you understand. Whatever you're imagining right now, add more bass, lots of bass. So bass quality itself is not quite there. It's a good amount of it. It is very fun. It's big, boomy, but it's also kind of fluffy and uncontrolled. Just gives it a very overall bigger than it really is kind of feel as well. And it just starts to veil the rest of the sound signature. I really enjoyed the quantity of the bass, which was a surprise. Like, I was not expecting it to be as fun in that regard as it was. It was very fun, but the quality was just not there. And then just moving on into the rest of the sound signature, mids were pretty recessed. There was a big dip there, and then all the mid bass and sub bass coming in through would veil everything, which the mids was one of my biggest issues I had with this IEM. It wasn't even the quality of the bass, because I know it's a cheaper budget set and it's just really trying to crank the bass out there, which it did. It did what it set out to do. But with the mids being recessed so much and having no upper mids, and then you go into the treble, which is very dark as well, which the treble I didn't mind as much. Treble being dark usually makes for a nice smooth listen, which is fine. Again, with the mids being so pulled back, it was weird how I had a better time on this set with music that it was not intended for, like the K-pop. So almost like the inherent energy that's in K-pop being dumbed down by the tuning on the Hades, it was fine. It gave me just a smoother, darker, more bassier experience. But when I took it into, like I mentioned before, my old stuff, the stuff it was intended for, it just made it feel completely flat, undynamic, and just not a pleasant experience at all. So a lot of those rappers I listened to, what really captivated me about their music is just that high energy, the high octane in their delivery. So you have their vocals coming through and there's an intensity there when they're delivering their verses. But the Hades just made them sound completely flat and veiled. It sounded like they were reading off their grocery list or something. And I did not like that at all. The bass was great. It was fun. I don't know if you can imagine the yin yang twins sounding flat and no energy, but it's just, that's what it was for me. Now, getting into the text itself, I mean, that's not what the set's trying to do. It is what you expect. Low text, details are, you know, veiled, clouded. Separation's okay. It's just overall, that's not what it's trying to do. But the dynamics weren't there either. And the texture and the rumble in the bass was not quite there either. It was just a lot of it, but it felt like just two-tone. It was like the impact, which was very soft, muffled, and then the rumble, which was not as deep as I would have liked either. So I want to compare the set to the original Truthier Zero. So Zero Blue, as a lot of people like to call it, just had, you know, more clarity because it has more treble and more upper mids, and that just pushes a lot of the details or more energy back in there into the music. But it also rolls off after the mid bass and going into the sub bass, so it doesn't have that rumble that the Hades does. So I definitely preferred the quantity of the bass on the Hades. The accessories and the build are better on the Truthier Zero as well. Well, the cable maybe a tie. I kind of hate the cable on both. So the Hades is the base, like I mentioned, is a lot more fun. The Zero is better at gaming if that's something that you want to take into consideration. The Zero is still one of my top sets for any type of competitive gaming or high level PvE gaming. And now for my rec rating on the Hades. So I cannot rec this IM. I give it a rec rating of 0. It is difficult to rec this IM overall as a product, not just on the tuning alone. If you end up buying the set, it will be because of the tuning. You will know what you're getting into, and that's what you want. You see the reviews and you know, do some critical thinking and you put into context for yourself and you say, I want that set. That's the sound I want. Most of my issues with this set as a product is just overall the accessories. I mean, the accessories you get, it's like not many and they're kind of bad. And then the price, $50 for the cheap case, the cheap cable, one set of ear tips. And then personally, the tuning, it's the mids that get me. The recessed mids, they're pulled too far back, and just overall, I don't enjoy the sound. I did enjoy the bass though. So hopefully with Hades being the first, I think there was a couple other really good bass headsets. I haven't tried the original QKZ HBB, and I haven't tried the Rosefinch, which is another one that's been recommended. I might go ahead and order those after this video. I'm actually excited for what the Hades might, you know, start. It might start that trend. We might see, you know, more companies pushing for something like this. And who knows? Maybe we can, you know, refine that and get another option, especially in the budget space. I'm tired of everything being Harmonish or similar, you know? Like everybody is trying to push for those safe sets, and there's so many now. It's nice to get something different. Even if it's not for me, it gives you another option, which is an important thing. You guys need as many options as you can get, and then get them at competitive prices. QKZ HBB Hades. There will be a link unaffiliated in the description below if you want to go ahead and check this out from Linsoul. Thank you, Linsoul, for making the video possible. And if you haven't already, please consider liking, subscribing, commented, something, do something. It always helps out the channel. I appreciate you guys. And that's it. I am Awesome Danny, and until next time, you stay awesome, friends. Bye.